Coming up tonight on YCN News, Cornish residents make their voices heard on the decision to stay in SAU 6 or leave to form their own school district. Mount Royal Academy Athletic Director receives the Volunteer of the Year award. We spoke to him about the honor. And Kearsarge Franklin took it down to the last possible moment. Literally, we'll have a wrap-up of the Division III boys basketball quarterfinal matchup. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN News, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It's Monday, March 7th, 2016. I'm Abby Peel in for Kurt Weedy. We begin tonight with the culmination of a lengthy effort in Cornish to more efficiently manage education costs as residents voted over the weekend to officially withdraw from SAU 6 in favor of its own single-town district. More than 300 residents showed up for Saturday's voting and approved the proposal by a better than 2-to-1 margin. SAU 6 currently incorporates the districts of Claremont, Unity, and Cornish, though officials in Cornish have been mulling a withdrawal plan for at least 2 years now. The Cornish School Board formed a withdrawal committee last year, and the committee's final plan of withdrawal was approved by the New Hampshire Board of Education just last month. Cornish's single-town district will take effect July 1st of 2017, with the 2017-2018 school year being the first of its operation. Cornish officials plan to outsource superintendent duties by neighboring Plainfield to reduce costs. Cornish has been a member of SAU 6 since 1964. Staying in Cornish, a Newport woman was arrested on multiple charges early Sunday morning when sparks flying up from the bottom of her vehicle alerted a nearby officer that she was driving on just 3 tires. According to a press release, Cornish Police Chief Doug Hackett spotted the vehicle while on patrol along Route 12A shortly before 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. Hackett said she had noticed sparks flying up from the bare rim on the 2014 Volkswagen Jetta and immediately pulled the vehicle over. Upon making contact with the driver, Hackett arrested 20-year-old Samantha Clark West on multiple charges, including driving while intoxicated and a reckless operation. As a minor, Clark West received an additional charge of unlawful possession of alcohol on top of citations for driving without a valid license and the misuse of plates. Clark West was released on an undisclosed amount of bail and is scheduled to appear in Claremont District Court on March 14th. Shifting back now to town meetings, residents of Newport will take to the polls tomorrow to vote on a proposed $17.6 million school budget that could determine the fate of at least 5 of the district's teachers. Voters won't have to decide between any contested school board seats, though a decision to approve the school budget over its default of $17.2 million could prove tough enough. SAU 43 Superintendent Cindy Gallagher has said the difference between this year's proposal and the default budget, some $318,000, could save the jobs of up to 5 teachers after 19 positions had already been cut heading into the school year. Gallagher has also proposed the reconfiguration of grades among the district's school in order to help save costs by moving 5th graders to Richards Elementary from Toll Elementary and 6th graders to the middle school from Toll. Additionally, pre-kindergarten and kindergarten will move to Toll. A public hearing of that proposal will be held March 19th. Staying in the Sunshine Town now, while residents of Newport won't be going to the polls to vote on a municipal budget until May, that won't stop the town select board from hosting public hearings to further discuss its proposed budget and various other bonds. Board members will first discuss the $9.42 million budget proposal to be voted on later this year, followed by hearings on 2 bond proposals. The first bond is for $407,000 to cover costs associated with engineering, land acquisition, and replacement of the steel truss Oak Street Bridge. The second bond for $3 million would fund infrastructure repairs to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and Knoll Streets. A final hearing will discuss the potential addition of $5 more to motor vehicle registrations in town to help pay for infrastructural improvements. Stay tuned for tomorrow night's broadcast for highlights from tonight's hearing as well as proposed changes. After the break on YCN News, another Lebanon arrest. We'll be back.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Abby Peel in for Kurt Weedy. In what's become an all too familiar story in recent months, a 24-year-old Canaan, New Hampshire man was arrested last week after a routine traffic stop revealed signs of a drug use by the driver. According to a press release issued by Lebanon Police, Jonathan Reeder was arrested shortly after 2:30 on March 1st after he was pulled over along Plainfield Road in West Lebanon. During the course of the traffic stop, officers observed signs of drug use, including paraphernalia visible on the passenger side floor. After a brief investigation, officers uncovered an undisclosed amount of heroin on Reeder, who was subsequently arrested on charges of possessing the narcotic, a Class B felony. Reeder was released on a $2,500 personal recognizance bail and is scheduled to appear in Lebanon District Court on May 8th. Voters in Lebanon tomorrow will elect 2 city councilors and 3 school board members, as well as decide on the fate of a proposed $40.3 million school budget during citywide voting tomorrow. In Ward 3, Sarah Welsh and William Shoemaker Jr., 2 newcomers to city politics, are vying for the vacant city council seat left by Carol Dustin, while in Ward 2, Mark Lauser is challenging incumbent councilor Bruce Broner for his seat. As for budgets, the proposed school budget comes as a slight increase to last year's, though voters are also being asked to improve new 3-year teacher contracts expected to cost an estimated $298,000. If everything is approved by voters, taxpayers would see an increase of 12 cents per 1,000 of assessed property value. Polls will be open tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., with Ward 1 residents voting at the Kilton Public Library, Ward 2 at the United Methodist Church, and Ward 3 at City Hall. Residents here in Claremont will take to the polls as well tomorrow, tasked with deciding on a proposed $34.1 million school budget, which includes a significant amount of funding towards increased background checks and additional security upgrades within the district schools. Security upgrades would replace outdated school intercom systems, with background checks to be conducted by a private company. Despite an increase of about 25% from the district's current operating budget, a slight reduction in staff is anticipated, according to SAU 6 Superintendent Middleton McGoodwin. The proposed budget would add approximately 11 cents to the city's current tax rate, while resorting to the default budget of $34.4 million would add 54 cents per 1,000 assessed property value. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., with Wards 1 and 2 voting at the Claremont Middle School and Ward 3 voting at the Disnard Elementary School. Andrew Mahaley, Athletic Director of Mount Royal Academy, is this year's recipient of the Volunteer of the Year Award from the Merrimack Basketball League, a league consisting of over 100 teams throughout the state. The award was voted on by the community of directors, coaches, and parents in the league. MRA joined the Merrimack Basketball League just 4 years ago and has had a great deal of success over its short span. YCN's Lynn Solomon caught up with Mahaley to ask him about the award and the success that the school's sports program has enjoyed over the last few years.
Yeah, it was quite an honor to receive the award. The league's actually centered out of the Merrimack Valley in the southern part of the state, so there's about 113, 115 teams, and the league's devoted to a more recreational approach to basketball for the season for the kids that need that developmental support but aren't quite making the top of the line teams. So it was quite a privilege to be recognized, and we as the directors within the league are doing a lot of volunteer work, so it was quite an honor to be a part of it. And we're coming off a great season as a school too. We're a small school, 50 to 60 kids in the high school, but we just won the Granite State Conference Championship for JV girls. The boys made it to the semifinals, and then our middle school teams The girls team's coming off back-to-back championships, and the boys have been back-to-back runner-ups in a championship the year prior. So it's really cool to be a part of even our school's growth, and in addition to the award. So I feel like I'm in a good place and moving forward. So.
Thanks so much, Lynn. After the break on YCN News, we'll take a look at some local sports action, plus weather and your community calendar. We'll be right back.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Abby Peel in for Kurt Weedy. Let's take a look at our forecast for the next couple of days. Tonight, those occasional rain and snow showers we saw throughout the day today could be wrapped up by this evening, leaving us with partly cloudy skies and lows around 29 degrees. Tuesday, we'll start to feel this warm front hit us as we'll see partly sunny skies and highs will reach 50 degrees. Clouds will pick up a bit Tuesday night with mostly cloudy skies and lows about 40 degrees. And Wednesday will really start to feel like spring out there with partly sunny skies and highs in the mid-60s. With those warm temperatures comes a 30% chance of showers Wednesday evening with lows around 47. It's now time for your daily community calendar, brought to you by MJ Harrington & Company, where we take a look at some events happening tomorrow. If you've got little ones, you'll want to check out My First Story Time at the Enfield Public Library tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. There will be songs, finger painting, and stories, all geared for children up to age 3 who are with a caregiver. If you'd like to find out more, you can call 603-623-7145. The Quechee Library is hosting a Needleworkers United meeting tomorrow night from 6:30 to 8. If you're a fan of sewing, knitting, and other arts and crafts, you can come share skins and advice with friends and neighbors. It's free to attend and all levels of ability are welcome. Call 802-295-1232 to find out more. And you can do your part to help someone who is sick or injured by attending a blood drive at Our Lady of Fatima Church at 724 Main Street in New London tomorrow from 1 to 6 p.m. Donate blood or perhaps volunteer your time to those if you're squeamish of needles. Call 800-733-2767 to find out how you can help. And those who were at Kearsarge Regional High School Gymnasium last Saturday night were witnesses to one of the most thrilling back-and-forth matchups in recent playoff memory as number 3 Kearsarge and number 6 Franklin faced off in Division III playoff action. Kearsarge would eventually take home the win in overtime by the slimmest of margins, 48-47.
I'm here with Coach Camp. Coach, what can I say? 48-47, both teams just put everything on the court tonight.
It was. I mean, what a high school basketball game that was, you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I tip my hat to Franklin because they wouldn't go away. They'd make big plays, we'd make big plays. To have kids that are like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old making, under pressure, it was a great game. We had to beat them twice, and to be honest, I just wanted that clock to strike 0. I just need that thing to be done. But these guys, it's a special group. It's the best group I've ever coached, and what's awesome is that there's a lot of alums here, and they're all getting the same hugs I'm giving all these guys because a couple years ago we struggled, and now I remind them that you got to value every moment that we're together. Because I was almost taken away from us, you know what I mean? And just great group of guys. I mean, I'm so proud of them,
I can tell you, good luck on Wednesday.
Thank you.
And guess who's going to join you on Wednesday?
You guys going to be there?
I think we're going to join you. Is that all right, Coach?
I need you there because we're 2-0 with you guys so far this season. So we got to keep that rolling, and certainly it's all these guys. I mean, the execution that they did down the stretch and the defense. I mean, to play man against that's a really good team. Normally we play that 1-3-1 defense, and we did that a little bit, but our guys to be able to get out, we don't have 5'10", we've got 6'8" and 6'7" that have to go out and defend, and they're able to do that. So special group, great leadership. They're part of my family for life. This is something that this is special.
Congratulations. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, you're very welcome.
Well, this will be one of 2 special playoff editions of Game of the Week airing this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Good luck to those Kearsarge Cougars. Kearsarge and Conant will then face off this Wednesday at Southern New Hampshire University, and that game will air on the YCN News Game of the Week this Thursday at 8 p.m. Now taking a look at the YCN scoreboard to check out some other local results. Stevens came into the quarterfinals riding high off their takedown of 7th-ranked Interlakes, but the 10th-ranked Cardinals weren't able to pull off the upset over number 2 Conant and fell 51-33. On the ice, the Marauders held their own against the Nashua South in a 5-0 win, and Lebanon rolled over Hollis Brookline with a commanding 14-2 victory. On the girls' side, number 5 Hanover traveled down south to Amherst to take on Souhegan and pulled off a comfortable 42-27 victory over the 4th-ranked Sabres. Number 3 Lebanon played host to number 6 Pembroke and eventually pulled out a close win, 45-41. Both Hanover and Lebanon will advance to the Division II semifinals, where Hanover will challenge top-ranked Portsmouth, and Lebanon will take on number 7 Goffstown. Meanwhile, the Lady Lakers of Sunapee capped off a fantastic 18-0 regular season with a Division IV championship victory, defeating the 2nd-ranked Littleton squad in a close 66-62 matchup. We will have the highlights from that game along with interviews of some of the players and coaches reflecting on the game and their incredible season in tomorrow night's news, so make sure you tune in. You won't want to miss it. And girls hockey, the Marauders continue to show their dominance over just about every challenger, taking down Concord 5-0. That's been your look at local sports, brought to you by La Valley Building Supply. When we come back, YCN News will join Lynn Solomon as she speaks to Kate Luphold of the Newport Library Arts Center about their selection showcase. We'll be right back.
The YCN News continues in a moment.